hang on. Call the meeting to order. Have you got your,
Okay, we're recording and I turned off the waiting room. Meeting start is 11:30.
right? Need approval of the June 23rd minutes?
I make a motion to approve them.
Motion made, need a second.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed, the ayes have it.
You have
Who's acting treasurer?
Me.
Okay,
You
Madam.
just received the general fund. This one is the state fund. We're gonna go with the thicker one first. Okay. General fund, cash in general fund is $263,446.49.
Where are you?
where are you?
Cash in on the thicker one, 7, the one that just says Letcher County Public Library balance sheet at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
2.
$763,000.
Now,
I thought you said 200.
I very well might have.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
What
you
was she
you
talking
said two,
about?
and that's the
Sorry.
reason we were all looking.
I don't know where the 2 came from. $763,446.49. In the preferred money market, it is $505,342.80. In the CD, and in the middle of your packet, there was a renewal for the CD. We don't have to do anything if you just want to let it ride, or you can,
Did the rates go up on it? You don't know.
The rates went up, we probably need to invest some more. If we have it, I mean,
okay.
that's neither or whatever right now, that's just.
I think we have like 17 days to like decide if we want to do anything to it, but if you decide that you want to open or put more into CD, we could do like a shorter or a longer one. I think this one is yearly.
It's yearly, this one is, but I was thinking they just had I don't know if it's run out, but offering for 13 months or 4.5, which would be great.
It's really good.
You know,
Much better.
Did they, do you know what the minimum was?
usually it's about 3.5, 3 or 3.5.
That's what it is.
Is it 3?
I mean,
Yeah.
the amount to invest.
No, we just said CD, 13-month CDs for 4.5. So I've invested my church's money.
So we need to
There's-
check into that.
Yeah, there's always some minimum amount.
I have to go over there today for my grandson's work, so I'll check in.
Okay.
See what it is.
That sounds great. So the community trust CD is $103,887.19. And in petty cash, it's $1,713.37. On the other stapled packet, it's the one that says Letcher. I'm looking at the wrong thing. The one that says Letcher County Library State Fund. Cash in bank is $35,359.46 for a total of.
1,500,711.26.
Read that again. 1 million.
1,500,711.26.
Okay, thank you. Somebody want to make a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Make the motion to accept the treasurer's report. I'll second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
Director's financial report. Happening out right now. Easy. Okay. So, for deposits, I had some from the sheriff's office. Property tax, which is the oil, gas, limestone, clay, sand, and gravel, was $32,150.92. Franchise tax from the sheriff's office was $2,585.63. We got the insurance payment from the Hanover, which was written on Massachusetts Bay Insurance Company for the Blackie fire, and that was $22,357.96. We had about $700 in donations. Grace, the gentleman that sends money to Blackie, I deposited that check, and then we had two other ones for $100 each. And then petty cash was a deposit of $274 even. And then through Square, we took in $55.22 for a total of $58,123.73. And then we made some purchases. Last month for the Kane Kitchen for the board meeting was $84.80. I mailed some genealogy copies for $1.50. Mailed your board packets for $8.28. That next group together is all magazine subscriptions, and it was like maybe $300 altogether on the subscriptions. About 300. And then we spent $81.68 for programming at Walmart and $12.96 for janitor supplies and programming at Walmart. And then I needed to go buy a router when the internet changed, because the one from the broadband office wasn't working, so we got a new one. And then I wrote a check for $233.52 for magazines, and some of those were 2-year subscriptions. Most of them were, I think there were like 3 that were 2 years, and the rest were all 1 year. Oh, it says it right there.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then I wrote a check for $90 to Matthew Algio for 6 books Tuesday night when he was here to give the author talk. And then we had $1,371.03 in purchases at Amazon, and you can look at the break at the individual purchases. And I have the receipts for those if you guys ever want to see them. But basically we spent $576.37 on books, $305.57 on programming, and it was all summer reading programming stuff. Janitor supplies, we ordered recycling bags because Walmart hasn't had them for ages, and $34.99 was like 150 bags. And then $454.10 on DVDs for a total of $1,371.03.
Report, your motion to approve. I'll make a motion. Motion made, need a second.
Second.
Second, all those in favor? Aye, opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Director, for your report.
Thank you.
And we now have the vouchers to look at.
Don't have Peggy's yet. She's supposed to be bringing them. Let me get.
Maybe she's sick, or have you talked with?
I just talked to her this morning. I asked her to bring her vouchers packet and report with her.
A lot of
Road
debris.
construction up that way.
Well, when I went to church yesterday, I had cars flashing me as it's going, and I came up on all of this trash that had come out of the ditch line
From the rains.
all over the mountain up there. Over going down Dunham Hill.
Oh my
But she don't come that way, so I
Can I get-
don't know.
signature on those, and here is vouchers. That's just the
You figured
minute,
on the top.
yeah, on that one, and also on the minutes. And
Do
I
I
just
need
need,
to do
no, I just need whoever is,
Acting president.
yes, thank you. Okay. This, I'm gonna step out, put my office.
Strange that we only have two. Yeah. Gosh, 49,000.
I added that's the property insurance and,
Oh,
sorry
to say this.
the van insurance, that's the whole year of the van insurance.
That accounts for all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
I
looking
would,
because I could.
yeah, I would
imagine.
definitely be looking elsewhere if that was just the property insurance.
Tell you to get this, find something else.
Sam, it says you're watching us. No, must be, oh, I bet. Hi, Sam. Must be Sam at Black.
Sam, I am.
Now, if you guys have any questions on those, just let me know.
Bill got some new books.
He did, and I'm glad.
Me too. I hope he gets more people to read them.
Well, I just did the inventory when I was here during the carpet cleaning. So I think it's gonna be, once I take out all the lost ones, it'll be easier for us to actually know what's in the bookmobile collection, because we didn't know what was lost in the flood.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm. Did I not sign? Wait. Okay.
Oh, good. Hi, Jim.
If she's somewhere behind me, I thought.
Okay. I'm just glad you guys made it. I was starting to get afraid something happened.
You may have to go get her.
We do have a dolly. You could just ask her to stand on the dolly and wheel her in.
We don't have a
We don't have a wheelchair.
elevator working
No.
anymore either, do we?
But I think she gets out up front. I could put her in a computer chair and wheel her back here.
She's a little bit slow, but she's on the ball.
She'll make it.
Okay. Well, we're waiting.
After you get 80, you look a little slow.
While we're waiting,
Yeah, we just finished the voucher, so we'll need a motion to approve.
Let's let her finish it.
Oh, I thought she said, sorry.
it's okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers.
Motion. Wait a second. Thank you. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Wait till Peggy comes in or you want me to go on?
Let's wait till Peggy comes in so we can get her vouchers added to that file.
Okay.
Tonight is the fiscal court meeting where the Cheryl's and Lena's seats are selected. After I have all the things I need to do today done, I'll go home
Hello, Miss Peggy.
and then
How are
come
you?
back for the meeting, for the fiscal court meeting. And I'll send you guys an email, or if I usually contact you through Messenger, I'll just do it that way. And then, so that we can minimize how long it takes to get people on the accounts next month, I'll go ahead and have Ian get that part of the minutes ready, like the swearing in. And then you'll be able to approve those minutes during the meeting that we're actually in. And then at the end of the meeting, I can ask everybody to go to the two banks and do signature cards. Thank you. So that's my plan for getting everybody on the accounts. And people sign, oh, those are for me. Sorry. Thank you. And okay, you want to make a motion to accept Peggy's
Make a
voucher?
motion to accept Peggy's report.
I'll second.
Thank
All
you.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll go on to building projects. You ready for that?
Head librarians. Ian, you want to start this time?
Already checked them off.
Things have been busy here. Last month after the meeting, we got the jail to come over. We moved all the boxes that were over in the
Good.
front. We moved them over into that sort of corner over by the genealogy room so that they're all kind of out of the way. A lot of books went out through the giveaway and
Good.
we took it down for the author's book signing last week.
Yeah, it was Tuesday night.
But we took those books downstairs that were left and it'll probably be a little bit before we're finished, but we're still going through the boxes that are in the front. We're making good progress though.
Good.
Summer reading's going good, 3 days a week. It's staying busy here. There's a lot of kids coming in and out,
Right.
checking books in and out of the front desk. We got a new internet connection. We switched from AT&T
AT&T
to
to
PBS
PBS.
cable. And the internet's a lot faster. We've had some issues with the printer though since Tyrell Miller, who was our IT person before, came in and helped us out and got a lot of it fixed, but it still needs some work. But yeah, it's pretty much how things have been going here.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Roy, can you move, Ian, can you move that last microphone kind of over? So people can hear you.
You want to know what you're doing?
Good stuff, have some reason. Wow.
Yeah.
Spent the whole time, we should, 2, 3 of them crowd.
I've had enough activities to keep them busy.
Yeah.
Just on the stove is great. Thank you. Do you guys reuse bags? Like if I sent old bags with you, would you reuse them?
Okay, you have three different programs.
Okay.
3 different age groups. Is that what that is? That's what I thought.
I have last month's bag.
Occasionally we get 1 or 2 that I'm there also.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm like, that's like 8 or 9 that area, you know, the teens and stuff. The teens is later in the day, it's like the evening.
She said that had improved.
Yeah. Got a lot of-
That's wonderful. That's a hard group. That's a hard group to reach.
Yeah, it is.
They're the ones that were like little when she started working here.
Yeah. they're the-
Oh, isn't that great?
It's good.
It's a real payoff.
Okay. Grace?
What next?
Ian, can you move the microphone?
We have got several book donations. Lots of books from the language. 2 boxes each from different. And I met a lady. Donation, we was talking about, we got about.
Good.
I sent him another thank you letter. And I actually suggested to him that the most recent donation was in memory of some of his friends, and I suggested
That
that
was
we,
his mom and dad.
Oh. okay. Well, I suggested we put in memory of in a couple, like book plates in a few books that we order for to replace stuff for you.
I would sort of like to wait and see what we get,
Okay,
what we have lost from the
right.
Kentucky
I just suggested that we do that.
Very old books, his personal books.
Oh, nice. We can
His
do,
mother was a school teacher here. His dad was-
we can do, donated by plates also on those.
but I just, really appreciate it. Came back, he had been back to like days. Came back to shoot. He very supportive of me, just had our hand up.
That's great.
And bathroom, we're still waiting to see. Had a bag. Of course, it gets very little use, but we're still hoping and praying. There's a lot of issues there that they say it's caused flood, but we've been having this problem for 20 years.
Not the flood then.
Alita Mauer had this report, but we had a visit from the state emergency management leader and from
Charlie.
I don't know, I felt better, felt more hopeful after talking to your friend.
Yeah,
He was one that's really.
Yeah,
nice for me.
I do too.
I think he really wants to see everybody come back.
Yeah.
As good or better than before. And I just said, oh, we're just trying to teach me patience. I'm very slow. But,
It's been a year.
yeah, but I think, he just really seems like he's on the ball and knows what he's doing and knows how to approach. And I think being previous FEMA that may help too. So
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he just doesn't get bogged down.
Well, if it
That's
saves
the
a
problem.
little more enthusiasm, yes, we are. How about that?
I hear that a lot about funding too. People just shake their heads like, is it coming back or not?
People, when, we had dates sort of, people sort of had exactly, and I just try to. And they understand, they're just, that library means a lot to the folks that do that and the center, which is not having. Is all we have.
Well, when people ask me, all I have to say is we have to do what FEMA wants in order for us to get FEMA money. So they usually understand at that point.
But we feel even people that are not real library users will, manage to come up the ramp sometimes. So
They still want it to be
They
successful.
know what it means, what it
Yeah.
means to them. And it means a lot to people who are readers. They use that library to come in, look at a magazine, just visit.
Yeah.
That's all we have to. But yes, that's all. There is still.
Good.
The proposals here, but.
Yeah.
He came and looked at files and each.
Thank you, guys.
Regina?
Well, Scarlett and I are still working with the processing catalog books for Neon. We have had a few more donations. Even though we asked that they stop, we still get donations. And we are having people call and wanting to give, but we have to tell them no, we just don't have the space for it. And me and Ian, we got out and shifted books on the adult fiction shelves and made more room for more books. And here at the library here, and we got plans to do some more shifting to the rest of the books to make more room so we can keep adding to the collection.
They're gonna do some deselection too.
Yeah, we're gonna do some deselection too, yeah, so we're staying busy. It's going good. pleased with all the donations that we've got, and I think that we've got a lot of really nice books, really nice. And it's gonna be a really nice collection. So maybe even better than we had before.
I've noticed your children's books
Yeah.
have been kind of,
Yeah.
they have a great children's book.
Great, great books.
They got some like 6 really good knitting books that I'm honestly jealous of. I'm gonna have to borrow them. Thank you. Peggy?
Well, first, I apologize for being late. I didn't realize I was out there for talking Scarlet. Thought I had plenty of time. So, we finished our summer reading program this past week, and it was very successful this year, but it was different than normally. We have a core group of children, and then we'll have a few extras dropping each week. And this year we had almost a different group of children every week. But we had a trip to the fire department. It's time they had off the fire truck and she go around to the fire department, and then Bill Stevens came down and talked to him about fire safety and all that stuff. And then we had games and contests and made hot dogs. So they had a really good time this year. Other than that, we just continued with our regular activities, with doing our book selection and book ordering and serving the public.
Got your picture.
We did get our picnic tables.
Brenda sent me a
And
picture.
Brenda and Nanny put them together. And I thought they'd just come and just put tops and seats on, but Brenda said she knew that had to be assembled. But anyway, they put them together and they're really nice, and they're out on our deck, so they'll be, especially this fall, they'll be really enjoyable to go out there and sit and use.
Okay, I got a picture from Brenda. Let me, they're mixed in with the pictures of the gutters that need replaced. So I actually contracted with a guy to repair and clean the gutters. Here's the picture.
Oh, those are nice.
They're
Oh,
really
very pretty.
nice. You guys see? And I'm really glad that they were able to put them together.
I can see them. There.
It's nice to have handy people.
It is. Okay,
Okay, I'd like to have one.
they were, I mean, you can find ones that are less expensive. But they're not as durable. And we really wanted durable and heavy.
Yeah, right.
So, okay.
Okay, thank you. Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Everybody's- Okay, we'll move on to building projects.
Building projects. If you read my report, you know that I went around with Charlie and Craig and feel so relieved that we now have a plan of action.
Good.
Neon is exactly what we thought it was gonna be. Hurricane level windows and doors, and then door dams if we happen to be able to go and put them in place. But the hurricane level doors are if we can't get there or are not there to put the door dams on, which is like these things that just kind of click into place.
So you have to manually
The-
put those door downs up. They don't come up out of the ground, or
No.
they're not automatic.
We looked at the passive flood protection, and that was not going to be feasible. There's nobody around here that would be able to put one of those in. And the amount of digging and construction that we would have to do in order to have one put in would probably cost about as much as just building a new building.
That's what I was thinking. I knew that, but I couldn't in my mind, I couldn't visualize how this was gonna.
Yeah, well, Craig said that since the majority of the damage came when the tree hit the back door, that hurricane level doors and windows was really all that was going to be required. And that the door dams is just an extra level of protection, which is great.
But it's, you don't have to have it, is that what you're saying, or it is a have to?
I think it is a have to.
So can you appoint someone like the fire department to be able to put those in if it starts flooding, or, people
No,
in the community that
that we could probably,
Fire department would be your best bet, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there's
we'd have to-
people on the scene,
yeah, we would
most
have
of the
to
time.
make
And
them
they're close.
available outside of the library. But that's something we can get to.
Talk
when-
to Craig about.
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Blackie, I was really worried about Blackie because it's a wood structure and I had no idea what we were gonna do with that. So the first thing Craig said we needed to do was concrete under the ramp. And we need to clear and seal any gaps. I know on the one side of the library where the sidewalk goes back, there's like a 1/2 inch gap between the foundation and the sidewalk, and that'll need to be cleared and filled in. When we put down the concrete pad where the ramp is, because no matter what we were gonna do, it needs concrete under there. That'll have to be attached or sealed to the foundation. And then the ramp will either be replaced with another wood ramp, replaced with a concrete ramp, which I happen to think is the best option because it doesn't depend on electricity and we wouldn't have to replace slats every couple of years. And then the third option, which is one that Craig liked, is a lift. And I am thinking, what if the power goes out and somebody needs to get out of the top floor? So I worry about that stuff. But we need to do a feasibility study. And that also came from Craig. And he will be part of this week's phone call with FEMA. There's going to be like 5 or 6 extra people on the phone call. It'll be me and my FEMA person, Karen, her boss. What's it called? The ones that tell us what we need to do to prevent flooding in the future. Remediation, maybe something like that. And then somebody from ADA, Craig, and maybe one of the guys that can get us grants. So it's going to be one of those big multi-people phone calls that kind of stress me out a little. But that's where we are on those. In your stuff, I have the estimate from Brian Lewis. And somewhere in my stuff, I know I kept one. Did I not keep one for myself?
Do you need this one?
Here's my.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody need? Okay. So the Hanover Insurance Company sent me their breakdown of their total payment. And it's basically minus depreciation, minus the deductible. They sent us $22,357.96, which I deposited. Brian sent me this estimate yesterday or the day before. Basically to replace kitchen cabinets, countertops, sink and faucet, the HVAC ceiling, register and duct repair, the flooring, the wood base and shoe molding, drywall, primer and paint, repair the doors, the bifold doors, cleaning and painting the drywall, in the upper floor due to the smoke damage. All of those, plus replacing the refrigerator and electric stove appliances and disposing of the old appliances, is going to be $18,200, which came in under what Hanover sent us. And since it's less than $30,000 as part of our procurement code, we do not need to bid it out. And honestly, Brian is probably one of the most honest contractors I've ever worked with.
He's done very good work for us.
So if you guys feel that this is a good estimate, can somebody make a motion to
Up here, a motion to accept this.
second? All in favor?
You
Yes,
made it.
Well, we'll say I made it. She said-
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm sorry.
Did you catch that, Ian? Okay.
Well, she's president and stuff.
Actually, she can,
She
but
can?
yeah,
Well, then you
But
need
she-
to open up.
but you don't have to.
In the past, it's always been that.
I do
president
have-
did not.
While we're still on
Yeah.
the Black Library, I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is just for the fire and smoke damage.
Mhm.
Grace keeps saying they're having sewer difficulties. So how is that going to be addressed and when is it going to be addressed, or is it going to be addressed? I know it ties in with the community center,
It does.
so.
And there have been phone calls to Breedings. And I'm not the only one that's made phone calls to Breedings. I think H called them too to complain. This has been an ongoing problem since the
been 20
beginning
years.
of the building. And
Excuse me, but it had, at one time, they thought the problem was between the two buildings were.
Yeah.
And it did work a little bit better, but whenever there's any high traffic bathroom. We don't have a, we just got. Yes. And on Blackie Day.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
And lately.
Probably needs to open up there.
Yeah, that really needs to be addressed.
And the guy called, but I called up there and he came down. I told him, all of me going on, and he started telling me what I was doing. That was the cause of it. We need to do sewer system. That there is nowhere on the riverbank to put another sewer system.
And they came and ran a camera
Yeah,
through the
that's what I was
system.
wondering.
And then they said that they had it fixed, but they didn't have it fixed. And
Probably 10, 15 minutes after I called, and they said, "Oh, yeah, it's fine." Okay, he said, "We should use it to plunge it." They came back after that, blew it out or something. And like I say, there's just usually there's two of us, but since you're Lawrence, I find there's just two of us, like 2.5 days.
And you're not open to public.
Well, we have people coming in to have comments, things
Yeah.
like that. And pick up, if we do get looks from Jacobs here, we're folks, they come in to pick those up, but they don't understand it because we don't make it public. So we dealt with this
I'd have to start getting
and just
work.
as I know nothing about it,
well,
wasn't married to. But,
Maybe it's time we
I feel
tried
like
another
it is.
business.
That's why we paid their invoice for the work they did. But it's time to find somebody else. And I keep
Yeah, I
hoping
think
that
so
Jimmy
too.
Cottle will be free to come and work on stuff, because I think he'd be able to figure out what the problem is.
I
But
just wonder if, we've got the concrete floor and all that. I'm wondering if there's something that's gonna have to be concrete brought up, I don't know. But you know, if there is, it needs to be done before they start work on replacing.
That toilet is less than 6 feet from an outside wall. I'm pretty sure that would be the only part we would have to tear up.
Oh, yeah.
So if that were to come along, I really want to get a plumber that knows what they're doing in there before we start construction on it.
Because you know, you'd be ashamed to have to.
Exactly.
Don't want to do that. Okay, moving on. Update on.
Update
Can't
on
do- can't do
Cheryl.
anything about that today.
Right, well, after the meeting, after I do the time cards, I'll go home and spend some time with the dog and let her out and then come back for the meeting. And I'll let you guys know who. And then I'm also planning, I don't remember if I said it during the meeting or before the meeting, but I'm planning to have get Ian to pre-write the minutes of them being sworn in. So that once they're sworn in, we can do offices and then go to the banks. And that's pretty much all that I have on the schedule for next month. So that's my update. CD renewal, you're gonna ask about that.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll go over there before I go home.
The CD letter is in the middle of the packet between the reports and the vouchers, and it looks like this.
So what is the date? I don't think.
Time deposit will mature on
7/17.
7/17, and we have 10 days after maturity.
Okay, we do need to discuss that. When I go over there, do you want me to go ahead and renew it? Or if you
If,
don't, you've got to do it by the 17th when it
Yeah.
rolls off.
if it's, we have 10 days after, so really the
Oh, the
27th.
But you wouldn't be meeting again.
No.
No. If we're not, if we want it to roll over, we don't have to do anything. It's an automatic.
But if you want to increase,
The amount,
right, you have to. And if it's a good amount, like if it's 4 or something, we would be making quite a bit of money on that amount.
it doesn't say what our current rate is,
It was 3 something.
but we took in $92.18 the past 12 months, which is
You should have done much more than that.
Not at that rate.
No,
interest
must have been a low rate.
interest payment at maturity,
Says 0.350.
current interest rate. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it does say it.
What is the current interest rate? 3?
0.350.
It should be a lot more.
0.3.
Yeah, it should be more. I don't find that in my package.
It'll be renewed at the best available rate.
There you go.
Interest rate at maturity. 92.18.
Not a lot of money.
That's not sounding normal.
I mean, we've got a lot in there for
3.50.
that only to be, not even
Right.
$100.
That's 3,000, 3.5 was,
Yeah.
would be much more than that.
Yeah.
I need to check on that amount. I
Yeah.
don't believe that's correct.
I wonder if that's the last,
That's the
Like
payment at
the-
maturity. That may not be,
if that's like the
That's
last
just-
quarter of interest.
even if that, it should be more than that. Cause you're
Well,
looking
you
at
can check on it when you're-
105,000. I'll check on that because I don't believe that's correct.
Okay.
But we need to know what to do unless we want to come back and meet and decide. Do we want to leave it at that amount or do we want to put more in?
Well, if it's not gonna get any better interest rate than
We don't want to put any more in.
0.35,
If it goes to 4. And I
Or a
know,
point, 0.4.
What they had on the 13 month was 4.5, because that's what I did for my church.
Maybe this should be, instead of 0.35, it should be
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah,
And that may be where they're wrong.
Yeah.
So, because if it's going up to
if it's
4,
0.3, that's almost nothing.
yeah, that's nothing.
So somebody has made.
Yeah, somebody may have
somebody's
just made a
made a mistake.
mistake.
This is just not right.
Okay.
How much, just, first of all, how much you had?
105,000. Should be much more, shouldn't it?
In the CD right now, we have 103,887.
Says current balance is 105,000.
What it says.
When
On this,
we get the
638.
financial reports from them, it goes by our last statement. And
Oh.
this goes by what is currently in the CD. So the last statement is a month behind this. I mean, a month in
According to
advance
this,
of.
we still would not even have made $100 for the whole year.
If it was 0.35%, we would have gained $363.
For the year?
No,
Yeah.
it's just, there's something fishy.
Yeah, there's something not right about that. Oh, look who showed up.
Well, hi.
Hi.
Okay.
So since Aisha's here, he can go over with me. So the rest of you want to go to the bank?
Okay. Well,
I do think we need to check to make sure that this is correct,
absolutely.
unless my figures are wrong in my head.
Well, I didn't bring anything, I didn't think I'd be here today.
That's all right. Let's see.
You can take over.
You're doing, who's doing a good job?
Pass that one
Okay,
down.
so, okay, if I go over and check on the CD and anybody wants to go with me, do we want to leave it as is, or
I think if it's okay, like if they raised it up to 4, I'd leave it. But
well, they won't raise it to 4 unless you do away with this amount?
no, I mean, the letter says they'll put it at the best rate. So
But we,
probably have to switch like what type of a CD it is.
yes, I don't,
Because this is a 12-month instead of a 13-month,
but that shouldn't make a difference, because this 13 month is just a new thing. that they just started.
you can make a motion to change the CD to a better
Right,
rate and like just transfer the same amount from the old CD to a new one with a better rate and term.
since this one is coming due the 17th, all you would have to do is just do the new rate.
Yeah. And you can, whoever wants to do it can make a like blanket motion that says if a better term and rate is available to switch the CD to the better term and rate.
Okay. You won't say that.
You can just say
If the
what you
better
said.
rate, the better. Then I say you switch, we say you switch it over to the better. rate.
That's a motion.
That's a motion.
Okay, do I hear
A second.
second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do you have time to go over the bank after the meeting?
Yes.
Either of you want to go?
Have you looked at this? H, you need to look at that.
Yes,
It's in their packet.
yeah, well, I don't have one, but she.
You have a packet. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
It is in between the reports and the invoice cover sheets.
I just think we should be able to make as much as we can.
Oh, sure,
I
sure. And if
completely
it's another month,
agree.
I mean, an extra month, we're just gonna roll it over anyways.
Yeah. So
Get what you can.
I treat this like a free mom.
Yeah.
It's free money.
It's free money, so
Well, it's not free, but
it's free to the library.
You
the
tie their
bank.
money up.
yeah,
It's tied our money up, but it's
we're
making.
they're
some
paying
money.
us rent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so
Um,
we had the motion made and second, all those in favor. Okay, so
okay, so you weren't here. I was gonna suggest that we table staff raises until next month. But if you guys want to talk about them, we can,
since we've got this to deal with, why don't we put it till next?
till
month?
next month.
Yeah.
That's
That'd be
fine.
okay.
That'd be fine with me, because we need to look at this.
Yeah, we need,
If we do make it retroactive back to July,
We can do
we
that.
can do
Um,
that.
You can include that in your motion. There's your homework, H.
You go ahead and make the motion, H.
I make a motion that we make all raises retroactive to July 1.
Need a second,
I'll second.
motion made and second to make the raises retroactive to July at our next meeting. All those in favor? Those, the ayes have it,
I'm assuming that means July 1.
yes. Proposed remote work policy.
That one we had in last month's packet, and I can go and get some. It basically requires that there be a doctor's notice or special circumstances to work from home. Tessa has a medical thing where she just got upgraded to work in the library building 4 days a week. And I will have that doctor's note by the end of this week.
Is there a specific reason why she can show up for 4 days? And not that?
It is something her doctor decided. And the level of physical work. But she does do work from home on the 5th day. Which is things like social media, planning programs, doing continuing education.
Okay, I would like for her to be in all meetings. Because
All meetings?
All meetings that we have. Because she's a full-time employee. And, well, head librarians are supposed to be here.
She's not a head librarian.
I said the head librarians are supposed to be here,
Mhm.
and then she's another full-time. What other employees do we have that's full-time? That doesn't attend meetings,
Cataloger,
that does not attend meetings.
she does not attend meetings. Scarlett is covering the front desk. And Scarlett is our cataloger.
Did she join by, Zoom or something?
She's watching us right now.
That's good.
I would like to point out that we have Tessa in the building 4 days a week. And 3 of those days, she's doing programming right now. And those are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And coming to the meeting every month is gonna reduce the amount of time she can spend on and in programming. Mhm.
Well, she is a very important part of the library system.
She
And
is,
all the
and
programming
I'm
that-
not saying she shouldn't come to meetings. But the same with the head librarians, I don't think that they need to come to every meeting. I think maybe we should do some kind of a rotation, because we are taking time away from their other duties.
I noticed in her report that, she said that she does a lot of work. I've never met the person.
She's
I've been on
wonderful.
here a year.
She does a wonderful job.
She
Well,
does.
She does.
I'd like to hear from the person.
She does a
And-
wonderful
Well,
job.
if she could attend one meeting, maybe quarterly. Instead of monthly.
I can do that. And
How about that?
she would have been here today, but she is off on Mondays generally. And she is on a non-refundable vacation that has been in the works for
Yeah,
6
she
months.
told me,
Mhm.
understand it.
Okay.
It'd be good to tell her how
I
great
think so
of a
too.
job that she's
Mhm.
doing.
Oh, one other question. We asked two meetings ago to have this calendar in the paper. It's never been in the paper. This
Yeah,
We sent it over there. Like,
You sent it over?
last month, yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah, we sent last month.
we
We got the
emailed it
check-
to Pam.
Yeah, we got the new one,
Yeah,
we got this calendar like a week ago, I think.
like this.
Yeah, it was in there last,
It was in last month?
for June, but not for July.
Okay, and that's when all the programs. are.
Yeah.
And I think that, do we have a
Maybe
number,
it was the July one.
I can take it to the community press.
do we have a
Yeah.
number on the people that attended these programs?
No. I'm gonna take one of these to the community press.
Okay.
Put it in.
Yeah, News Press and Mount Eagle both.
Well, Sam, take care of Mountain Eagle, won't you? The press is above my house.
Roy works with programming too, so he could answer maybe your questions.
Excuse me.
We
Roy
do,
works with the.
we do keep
programming too.
numbers for how many people come to the programs.
But, she mentioned something that it was low attendance in one of the programs that she had. And I was just wondering, because lack of information, and if we had that information out to the people, then we'd have, maybe, she'd have to turn them away, what I'm saying. And which, I'd rather have people being turned away than, not knowing that. Because the programs, I think every program that the library puts on is really good for the whole county and good for the library.
We already have to turn away people painting classes.
That's good.
We do. We have so many people sign up. for paint
50 and
classes.
60.
We do.
Really?
Yeah, 50 and 60 for paint classes.
Yeah.
I'd be so
But it's-
intimidated by
It's good
people.
advertisement for the
Yeah.
library, you know, it's a thing
She's
that
so
if
intimidated.
you can't have any,
My
maybe
husband's-
something
It
else.
is.
He says,
Could we have
"Well, I
more
can't
than
do
one?
that."
We have
They do
two,
I
have-
can look at it.
two here and one at Jenkins.
They're usually booked up.
And we do two here. Yeah.
Good, all right.
Okay, the other thing is, like, to me, and this is just me, but we're wasting a lot of the head librarians' time sometimes when they're here an hour after the reports and stuff. But they leave after a certain, or do you want them the whole time?
I think what we can do, we could have them come into the meeting, be first on the agenda.
That way they wouldn't have to wait while we go through everything. Unless they want to hear it all.
When I worked at the Campbell County Public Library in Northern Kentucky, we rotated which librarians came and presented at the meetings.
That could be done too, you know.
Do y'all? It's great, it takes you what, 45 minutes to get back?
45 minutes to get back from Mossburg.
Yeah.
No,
Only if she stops at Walmart.
Well, no, they're putting those rings in.
oh,
And
oh,
There's 20
road
miles.
construction.
yeah,
I left it.
Wait a minute.
they're moving up.
Peggy,
They-
it'll be about-
That one's about
They're moving up the
30,
ring.
35 minutes.
it's probably not.
14 miles from here, Jenkins.
Yeah, and you know what? When I used to work, I used to go to schools, it was only 7 miles to Neon from Whitesburg. I was so shocked.
Takes a long time to,
Yeah, when I was, because I had to keep my mileage down, and it was only 7 miles.
The
That's-
Neon from Whitesburg?
Yeah. From the Whitesburg Middle
It
School.
feels longer.
It has to be
Well,
longer.
I'd like to say one thing about being at meetings is that it's one day a month. And we never hear what comes out of the meeting. We don't get the minutes or anything like that. So we never know what's going on in the meeting. So coming to the meetings has actually been very informational and helpful. So in my opinion, I don't know how. the
Well,
rest of
you know, that's my covered.
We
When,
do.
Yeah.
when you're here, so I can't see the reason to get back early.
I mean, we don't do it that way. We go back.
Well, what
I
you,
usually don't even say anything.
y'all need to, tell us to, say, look, come on, quit shooting the bull. And, no, we do need to stay on track, and we do tend to, like things that we get off.
I could see how they get more information this way.
Yeah. And on updates.
It's good to know.
Have you answered enough questions on the remote? Anybody got any more comments
On what?
on the
Remote
remote?
calls.
Do you want me
work
to?
policy?
I did not. I don't think I put it in here again.
That's not in the,
Well, I gave it out last month,
Yeah.
She didn't put it in this.
but I did not put it in this one, and I can go get it and bring you copies if you want.
Okay, we'll continue on.
Okay, I will be right back.
Okay.
All it
So
is.
we'll wait for
adjournment.
those, but then we'll go ahead to announcements. Do you have any announcements from your libraries?
Nope.
Head librarians, you got any announcements of anything special at your libraries?
Grace, we got the sewer fix yet?
No.
We've discussed it.
Then I think we should change company.
Well, that's
That's what
what
we thought, we
we
did that,
decided.
that's what we decided. So,
we've got
anybody
to,
else?
we've got to address it, and take care of
Well,
it. I mean, that.
The reason I say that, I went down there, one day last week, no, week before last, and they were sitting in the van. It was not lunchtime, it wasn't about 10:30. And I went in and talked to Grace, delivered the mail, come back out, they were still sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Ison. Came back, started stop and, but it didn't go in and they were still sitting there. Well, they charged, Breeze charged us to get, I think the time that they were there.
Whether they were working.
Well, we decided to go ahead and change companies.
Yeah, they were sitting there, they were on the phone.
I have
Okay.
5.
That's
So
all the announcements. So scheduled August meeting is August 21st, 2023 at HMC. Yeah, my birthday.
Oh, well, good.
Get into it.
Somebody have to make you.
the camera off.
okay. Let me just read through this really fast.
What do we do about, if they work from home? What about when they clock in, clock out? How would that, everybody clock in and clock out?
I write myself in because I usually run errands on the way here. Like I go by the post office and bookkeepers. But Blackie is not clocking in because they don't have a time clock. They clock in here, they clock in at Jenkins. Tessa keeps a running list of what time she starts work and what time she finishes.
But you don't clock in.
She doesn't have access to the time clock here. She works downstairs and part of the medical issues prevent her from, part of her medical issues prevent her from climbing the stairs often.
The elevator's not working.
And the elevator's not working. So she sends me her time.
She has to go upstairs to get to her office. She has to go downstairs. So
Yes,
could she clock in as she goes downstairs?
she doesn't park out front. She parks out back and walks up those few stairs. And the
Back in
time
the
clock is
library.
up there.
Could she send somebody, call somebody up here to clock in for her?
She can.
That would, I think that would, that way everybody be on the same.
All requests to work from home or work remotely are reviewed and decided by the director. Permission of the director must be obtained before the remote work date. Remote work is approved on a case-by-case basis. The factors that are considered include, but are not limited to, is this employee's work schedule being limited by a medical professional? Is this employee able and equipped to work outside the library? Does this employee have work that can be performed remotely? Will this employee's absence place undue stress on the remaining staff? Would this employee be better served by a schedule change or day off? Upon occasion, a staff member will be allowed to work from home or other location. Generally, this is a one-time event, i.e. a staff member needs to be present with a family member while they are homesick or having medical treatments or similar occasion. Very rarely, a staff member will have a medical condition or other situation that will prevent them from working on site for their entire work schedule. No matter the situation, some kind of documentation is required. If it is a medical condition, the doctor's work restriction note must be presented. Medical requests will be reviewed bi-monthly, so every 2 months. The employee and director will create a clear schedule detailing which work hours will be on site and which will be remote. This schedule may change week to week as needed. Eligibility of staff. Staff members may work from home if the following criteria is met. The employee's position must be conducive to working remotely. Examples of this would be program planning, social media / marketing, collection development, administrative work, continuing education. The staff member must be able to demonstrate their ability to complete essential job duties while working remotely. All remote work must be documented using an Excel or similar chart, which should be submitted bi-weekly with time cards. No more than 50% of the staff members' regularly scheduled hours may be completed remotely while the library is open to the public. Staff members must be available to the library by email, chat, and/or phone during the staff member's regular or assigned working schedule. Staff members are responsible for providing the necessary technology and equipment to facilitate their work remotely. If and where possible, library resources may be provided, which will be at the sole discretion of the library director and based on availability, feasibility, and need. Staff members will not be reimbursed for expenses incurred by phone calls, internet access, equipment, or other expenses related to working remotely from home. Emergency closings. If the library is closed due to emergency conditions, an interim work or telecommuting schedule may be developed and job descriptions or duties may be temporarily altered or reassigned based on the needs of the library. A reasonable effort will be made to maintain a useful work schedule and provide continuous employment opportunities. Ongoing evaluation. These guidelines will be periodically evaluated by the director and board of trustees and revised or updated as needed. Questions or concerns regarding these guidelines should be addressed to the library director. Did I miss anything?
My son works completely remote, except for the travel he has to do. The way he does is he goes in at the same time every day and turns his computer to their programming, and that's how he checks in.
But they know when he's checking.
They know exactly what he's checked. And he, he's from home, so she could do that from downstairs, couldn't she? Or could she? Where she's on the location, I don't know if you can do that or not.
Well, it doesn't tell me where she is when she signs in.
Well, this says all remote work to be documented. Sounds similar to what should be submitted bi-weekly with a time card. So,
Yeah, so she'll have a chart that says what she worked on and what times. But yeah, she can send us a message and tell us to clock her in when she's in the building or working remotely.
I just think it'd be consistent with everybody.
Any suggestions, corrections, anything?
Sounds good.
There's nothing else. I hear a motion for adjournment.
Do anybody want to make a motion to approve the policy?
Has it already been approved?
No.
Oh,
I'll make
okay.
a
We
motion
need a
to
motion
approve
to
it.
approve the new policy for
Remote
remote.
work policy. I'll make the motion to approve it.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Need a motion to adjourn.